The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Garrett, for 3 minutes.
So I would thank the chair and Mr. Clark for providing a wonderful segue into the line of questioning that I have. I was a moderately decent soldier and a competent prosecutor, and I'm familiar with 18 U.S. Code 2332B, which makes illegal acts of terrorism transcending national boundaries and the concepts of conspiracy and attempt, which would allow the prosecution of individuals who might not have completed efforts to do these things. Mr. Jocelyn spoke earlier of an individual in Cleveland who had returned after having been involved with al-Qaeda, and Mr. Clark talks about individuals from other areas as well. I've read stories, obviously, of individuals from the United States who were arrested as they sought to travel to join ISIS. What I've not read is the proactive arrest of individuals who had been identified when they returned. Mr. Simcox, do you know of any instances where we've identified individuals who have traveled abroad to engage in or support terrorist organizations being arrested upon their return to the United States?
The United States I'm less familiar with. Europe, certainly those arrests have taken place, but there's been great difficulty in translating evidence or intelligence from the battlefield into courtrooms, and so there's not been the success rate with convictions that European governments would have liked.
Is anyone in the panel, and this is open-ended, familiar with any sort of proactive reverse investigative techniques? And for example, we worked hard in a past life on those who might seek to use electronic communication devices to exploit children by creating individuals online who might appear to be someone who they're not, for example, a 13-year-old girl who was actually a 34-year-old detective. Do we ever engage in essentially chat room conversation with folks who would allege that they had traveled abroad? Does anybody know about anything like that? And if so, can you think of a good reason why or why not we might seek to do that sort of thing? Mr. Jocelyn.
Yeah, so one of the things we track along with Journal, the FBI's filings from the different cases, and you can see in those filings that they have undercover operatives communicating with people who traveled abroad or people who are suspected of being radicalized inside the U.S. who may commit an attack. The FBI clearly, if you just go through the filings, it's obvious to me they have a program to basically interdict or sort of go after people.
Sure, and with all due respect, I got 45 seconds.
Sure.
That makes me feel good, and I would argue,
Sure.
I would submit that perhaps the recent arrest at Schofield Barracks in Hawaii is indicative of this sort of engagement. But what I'd like to know is, given the fact that whether it's a local national, a U.S. citizen, or a foreign national coming to the United States, based on the current code of the United States, specifically 18 U.S. Code 2332, whether the current administration or the previous administration has done anything to round up folks who left to fight and came back. Because you give me the facts and I'll lock them up. Are we doing that? Anybody? Mr. Jocelyn.
As the way you stated it, probably not. No, we're not doing that, no.
But you would concede illegal to do that, and the statute of limitations is 8 years. Why aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, the FBI, I know, I'm not defending the FBI here, but I know the FBI does investigate these people or tries to anyway, on a regular basis. Now, that doesn't mean they're rounding up and arresting them like you're saying, but they are investigating and trying to stop people that they think or suspect are going to basically pop off.
Mr. Chairman, I'm 11 seconds over. I would submit that if we have laws in the books to arrest and incarcerate individuals who've traveled abroad to engage in or support terrorism and we're not doing it, somebody needs to whisper in the administration's ear. Thank you.